made about $720,000 a week. You'd have to know the value of money. And most days, a house costs $2,000. Maximum, a house. It might have been $1,000. And if you made $720,000 per week, that kind of money was unknown before Prohibition. You couldn't make that much. There's nothing, you could not make that much money. Then why, when they saw how it was destroying the country, not alcohol, but that hiring all the revenuers to go around and do all of this, they repealed it. Within 12 years, Franklin Roosevelt repealed Prohibition. Okay, the longest war in America has been a drug war. Why they never repealed it? But why the Negroes never got big like the Italians and others got big in those days? Because the police did this on purpose, and they had everything fixed and arranged that every time you get up a certain high, they'll rake you off to the penitentiary. That's why it ain't no big Negroes. Probably the American gangster guy up in New York probably made the most money in America. Because if he was getting 100% China white heroin in those years, and it seemed like he was getting a couple hundred kilos, the money that they would make was mind-boggling. If he made $1 million a day, it's okay. Probably more than that. No, I mean, not per day. Don't worry about it, because you got to remember, what did they call it? Blue something other?
Blue magic.
Blue magic, yeah. Well, it was blue magic because it turned blue. Why? Because opiates and certain chemicals turn blue. If it turned blue, this means it's pretty good. If he was getting, which he was, pure heroin from China. China white is different than Mexican brown. Mexican brown, I don't want to change the subject, I'll get back, is 86%. As high as you can get Mexican brown, like brown sugar, you know. But China white, which was coming from Chiang Kai-shek's people, that said that at the beginning of the movie. You know, just study up who Chiang Kai-shek was. The CIA homeboy over in China, Taiwan, Formosa, all of that. Anyway, if heroin on the street is 5%, right? Standard. If his is twice as good as everybody else's, that means is 10%. Now, in diluting heroin, if you take, we'll call it like nickels. If you cut something 20 times, it's like 20 nickels in $1, right? 100%. Okay. If you cut it 10 times, it's like a dime, right? So if you got the best heroin on the street, twice as good as everybody else's, you still cut your heroin 10 times. Of course, it comes out to be 11, 10 times. 10 times. That means 1 kilo, right, come out to be 10 or 11 kilos. And each spoon, just a regular tablespoon of it, is $100. Good God Almighty. Can you imagine that money? That's why the government got one of his accounts as $230 million, $50 million, it was nothing. That's the kind of money. Why no niggas get big? Al Capone them got big. All the other gangsters, the white gangsters, got big. They got so big that they still got the remnants of the mafia now. 100 years, they still got the mafia here. They done kind of messed with them a little bit, but they were useful for a while. The point is, they wanted drugs in the black community. They put them in the black community, and they had a scale. When these niggas get up this high, take them off to prison. Everybody all around the country. Nobody ever got rich. Can you imagine? I'm telling you, in Oakland, one guy, just me, made the whole town rich. The whole town rich. And I still got more money than everybody. After all the pressure, and when they realized what I was doing, first they said, we're going to have this nigga here. He going to sell dope to everybody and run everybody crazy. Because I sold mainly marijuana and cocaine, not crack, cocaine. It's not no siree, not no crack. Anyway, it wasn't even out then anyway. Neither was freebasing, it wasn't out that long ago. But here's the point. In one town, I was able to out Martin Luther King to do a whole economic enterprise in Oakland when everybody that wanted to be wealthy and some rich to do it with little or nothing compared to what's the name was getting. I could have did it. I was, if he was getting 200 kilos per shipment at 100%. Let's say I was getting 1 kilo at 86%. And just running the gamut, the kind of money and the destruction that those drugs have done to our community, I don't care what they say, I was in the front seat watching everybody and adding it up. Why no big enterprises? Right? If we'd have just took the money and reinvested it in the black community, why you didn't get a chance to reinvest it? Lawyers, bails bondsmen, right? Taking all the money out of the community and it doesn't circulate. The only difference with ours, we circulated it, just like you say. Anyway, to get back to the point, they have a scheme. On us it worked. They have a scheme now. It's not gonna work. The drug thing worked 100% plus on us. The scheme that they're doing now, let's say 30%. 30%. And I'll try to move toward a close. Everything that they're doing is failing. Therefore, we have to play what part do we want to play? We can play a part in healing America and helping fix America. Or let's let it go down and every time it slips a little, we'll grease the pole, it'll slip faster. It's going down. That's not even a discussion whether it's going down or not. That's not exceptionalism. And anybody, Bill Clinton said on TV last, when he was talking about Washington, anybody that they've been betting against America all along. Anybody bet against America, they usually gonna lose. Not this time. This is this is historical, all the stuff before the wind was at his back, before the murder and destruction. When Allah got you going uphill, you're gonna go. When you get at the top of your stuff and you start going down, you're going. down. That's the pattern of history. And nobody has been able to change that. This is America now, but remember, America is made up of people. That's the difference. America is made up of people. The world is made up of people. And if we can put things right here, that means it's actually possible to have a good world where the shaitan don't run things. I'm running this. Well, he just have his regular little 10 or 15% fitna, you know what I mean? Break up a few marriages and run a few people crazy. But the general 80% of the system and society and people will be good, basically good. That's where we're headed. So that's why the stuff we talk about is a new approach. It's experimental. Ain't nobody tried it before, right? You know, everybody is just rebellion, revolution, and we're gonna all that. That's all they talk. Okay. But this go around, that's why it's such a challenge. It's not a challenge. If you add up the numbers, you wouldn't even try it, right? At the possibilities of doing this. It'd be like Donald Trump's number, 99.9. You know what I mean? Right down to the chance of that happening, right? But that's what the challenge is. This is what Islam, once Islam kind of reshaped you a little bit, that's where it put you. Hey, it's possible. What was the possibilities of Islam taking over in Mecca? 0.99 point something of it. Same thing. It just wasn't possible. It wasn't possible. And everybody getting all their money, it's like now, everybody getting all their money from what's happening now, right? All the phony stuff. Everybody got all their money then because of the islands, and you're right? And everybody got all their money. That's what made Mecca. It wasn't nothing in Mecca but desert. Tell the truth, that's desert. And that's all they had. And that brought everything there from all that. Oh man, we're going over to Mecca. And we're going to be Mecca, whatever they call it, Yatra. Anyway, instead of reviewing crisis management, we won't do that today. Millions die of buffoonery. Buffoonery, it does. It kills millions of people. If you want to save human lives, animal lives, the life of the earth, you have to fix this thing. Buffoonery hurts, man. Them clowns like George Bush and them, they go to Iraq, they just slaughter all them people. The Russians go to Afghanistan, the Russians kill 10% of the population with them helicopters. That's 1.6 million people in them days. Right? And everybody they didn't kill, the Americans came to kill the rest of them the last 18 years, 17 years. Actually, we got a pretty good job here, if you just, you know what I mean? If you just signing up, I want to sign up for the New World Project. Actually, it's easy, it's fun. Because the only thing they can do to us is psychological stuff. They can't, right? They can't do nothing to nobody, because if they do, everybody will, what was Musa talking about? And they'll go read, look at all of this stuff, and they'll say, and then they sure will be in trouble then. That's the martyr thing. So we knew about the martyr thing. Why they can't kill, or they won't kill nobody and they'll make them a martyr. Well, we had to just mosey along. Remember, we were making all these CDs, all these DVDs. Do you know we got CDs and DVDs in sections? strategic management. We might have a whole series of those. Man, we got so many educational points. And remember, all our stuff is repetitive, but it's inspirational. It all centers around the transition and the need for transition. But anyway, so this, whatever happens here would be a new approach. And this is experimental. It's experimental. Not only is it experimental, we want to recruit a large number of participants. We want to get the SS, some of the SS on our side, the Gestapo, we want some of them with us. It's insane, but it's good, right? There's only, well then, how are we gonna do this? So you can sit up and think all day. That's one thing about it, I do have all the time in the world to think. And I don't think about, this is all I think about. When I'm walking, I think about this stuff. Then I say, well, you need a breather. So I take a few minutes just maybe watching TV. But it ain't gonna do no good because I got my paper, pencil and paper there. And if I'm watching TV, it doesn't make any difference. I'm still writing. If I'm watching a dumb cartoon, which I don't, it don't make no difference. I'm gonna put, all this stuff comes from watching TV yesterday. And it's good stuff, right? So, after you get busy, you cannot not learn. You cannot not learn. And it's usually pretty deep. So the,
You know, Imam Musa,
Yeah.
I'm glad you said what you said about it being experimental.
right,
Because when you talk to people and either you're trying to encourage them or, you know, they let you know where you're coming from,
right,
the first thing they say, well, what's your plan? People want answers to the problem. They know it's a problem and people want,
right.
okay, if you talking, basically they saying, oh, you talking all that stuff, then what's your plan? Now, you know, to explain everything up to what you've been talking about over the years to this point, they really don't want to, to me, they really don't want to participate. They just want an immediate answer.
Okay, well,
But to your point, you said, this is experimental.
it's experimental. You got the whole world in pandemonium.
Right.
You want a pro-pandemonium or pro-fiction plan for global pandemonium. That's, the world is doing that right now.
Right.
But we always break it down for the first stages. For our first stages, we said nonviolent resistance. It's okay, nonviolent resistance. It's very simple. Now the platform is simple if you follow it, but you got to transform yourself just to do that.
Right.
If we say, okay, we're not going to call the police in our neighborhood. Well, you got to get the church and the Masjid all organized to do the work of Jesus and Muhammad, peace be upon them, right? You got to get, they got to start doing some of that. But the preachers don't even think like that. You see what I mean? Here's the point. Nonviolent resistance, alternative resistance. If you got a team at the church that handles domestic violence and what have you, and they're on call, you know what I mean? They remember they're into the service of God. They're not just working on their job. Okay, and you got a team. They have technically been trained in school to the best of the teachers and trainers' ability to handle domestic violence. So you know, oh, there's somebody, guy beating his wife, or his wife beating him. Now they be doing the other way, both ways, right? So, or she can pour some hot, what's the name on him? You know, the old time girls, they talk about all that violence. You know, they used to use oatmeal and grits and stuff like that stick on your body. Suppose you laying down there, you done busted somebody upside the head. It's fine. Then a nigga he doing that same scream old Dean did. They be hollering. See, y'all, I don't know if y'all come up during that time, but them niggas would be hollering, boy, like hollering. Hot grits, boiling hot grits. They stick, see, grits, you know, they stick on your skin. Hey, man, especially the women down there in Canada, get you women, I'm not against nobody. Down there, right down the street, South Carolina, I don't know how, right there they got the barrier islands all down there. They can't speak English any good, and they be bringing that old stuff from Africa and burning niggas. Hey, man. Anyway, so we have domestic violence, right? Think about it. It's a perfect solution. The church do that. They don't call the police. The police and kill the Negro. Homelessness, there they are. Imagine the churches, just imagine the churches. Homeless problem solved. If they could use just the auditorium next to the church or something like that, right? Or the basement. If you got all the churches participating, that's the purpose of the church in the old days. You didn't have no welfare, didn't have no, right? When you needed church, that's what zakat, sadaqah, those are the institutions that, like the Quran says, to prevent the circuit of the money around the rich. That's what it said. That we get a piece of that. So all those institutions are there. When I'm talking to my old friends as preachers, they just don't get it. You mean that they got them BMWs and Benzes out there? You mean that instead of having fundraisers for the senior choir, that's what they say, $50,000, that's all we need for the senior choir, for their new uniforms, their new dress stuff. It's a little old measly 50 grand. You think we would feed niggas with that? We would actually, well, that's what Jesus would do, right? Isn't that what? Yeah. But man, that was a long time ago. They got all this stuff. They see, just now, it's not the preachers either.